All right, this is Gary Parr, Fiber Talk, Nashville Market 2019, and I'm here with Cissy Bailey Smith of Gentle Pursuit
Design.
Yeah, that Gentle Pursuit. So hi, Cissy. Now we have Cissy is sharing room with Nicola of Hands Across the Sea. So we've got business going on behind. But anyway, we're going to look at Cissy's materials here and go from there. So Cissy, we've got an original sampler here. Tell me about that.
Yes, this is the Eliza Palmer sampler. She was 10 years old when she created this, but she did not give the date. I did extensive research. Being a detective is one of my favorite parts about samplers. So the greens and the golds were very popular in the 1830s. The verse is an Isaac Watts creation, and what I love about this sampler, it has cross stitch over 1 and 2, and the floral band you see here is tent stitch, and she has fenced in her peacock. I really love fences on samplers, and look how ornate the middle of that one is.
Beautiful.
And the peacock symbolizes eternal life, so she has that caged, you know?
Okay.
So
Well done.
I
Now,
love that
a fence.
sampler.
Don't know that I've seen a fence like that in a sampler. Is that
I never
pretty rare?
have.
Oh,
It
this
is,
is. Oh,
it is rare. I
okay.
have never seen a fence like that or a peacock caged in. So I had an antique show for the Carolina Sampler Guild, a Tea Party antique show, and we did, I had a lot of my antique sewing accessories for them to see and talked about the shaker pieces and others, and then we did a walkabout of my samplers and talked about all of them. And they wanted me to reproduce a sampler, and so I let them choose.
Oh.
And it was hotly contested, but
that was the
Eliza
one.
Palmer won.
Okay.
So,
All right, and then over here we have.
This is Betty Taylor, 1794, a hummingbird sampler. Hummingbirds arrive in my yard in mid-April, and they are there, contentious little rascals, until mid-October, and I am in their service. I create boiled up hummingbird juice twice a week and change out all the feeders.
Oh boy.
So when I saw this hummingbird sampler, I had to have it.
Yes.
And the bidding went hard and fast because I'm not the only admirer. So I was just delighted to have won this. Betty used cross stitch over 2 primarily, although the verses are cross stitch over 1, and she has done AEIOU in Algerian Eyelet.
Okay.
So it's a simple monotone sampler. It's a very peaceful look and a fun stitch.
Yep. All right.
Okay, and
Now.
my dear friend Sharon Huffstetter stitched the model for
Oh,
that
okay.
one.
All right.
Now this one is Mary Otter.
Just a minute. I gotta get Mary. We gotta get the whole Mary here. There we go. All right. Yes.
Now, she stitched this in 1792, and take a close look at that queen stitch strawberry border. I have learned that people either love queen stitch or they hate it. I am a lover. And you get plenty of opportunity to work the queen stitches on this sampler.
I'll say.
Yes, and it is the only sampler I have ever seen with a horse-drawn carriage in it. Nicholas said it looks like Cinderella has just arrived.
Well, that's quite a carriage too. That isn't just that. There's some detail there.
It is.
Yes.
And I matched the colors to the back of the sampler. I had it restored, but the colors were still rather faded. And that is a raspberry door.
Yeah.
And look at the wheels on the carriage.
Oh yeah.
Mary Otter really liked that pink.
Yep.
And I believe that's a little lamb in the side yard. I guess it could be a pony.
And so you use the colors from the back then.
I
So
used the
this,
colors
so
from the
that
back.
means the original was this rich.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
Yes, it was. And I love the parrots and all the little butterflies.
Right.
My garden is also a monarch watch way station.
So your
have
garden is a zoo then?
It is.
Okay.
It is.
All right.
It's
Just so we're
full
clear.
of caterpillars and butterflies and hummingbirds, and of course birds and squirrels and deer. I live out in the country. I retired to Summerfield, North Carolina, and love it. My dad is 95 and lives with me now, and I have little grandchildren coming and going all the time. So it is quite an exciting place to be.
All right, and then the last one we have over here.
The last one is Mary Drake. Mary was 11 in 1818 when she created this lovely pastel sampler. I think she was a very friendly person because she has 10 baskets. Flower baskets symbolize friendship, and she has fruit baskets at the bottom, which symbolize hospitality. And the unique feature of this one is that Algerian eye swag across the center. It's tone on tone. Can you see that?
But what we do, we make it payable to...
Lots of
There it is.
stitch.
There, yeah.
Absolutely. And this one would be excellent for
Just top this up here.
beginner stitches because it's mostly cross stitch over 2. The verse has some cross stitch over 1, and then there's the Algerian eye. But it is a lovely stitch. Now this antique, the colors are just like this on the front.
6 items,
Oh.
6 received.
So I matched
So it was
this
in good
one
shape
with the
then.
front. It was
Yeah.
in very good shape.
All right, now you got a couple small things over here we need to look at.
One of my favorite things is taking motifs from my samplers and making sewing accessories. So this one, because I love queen stitches, features many queen stitch motifs, and I lifted these butterflies from some of my samplers and the cartouches, and I looked for a verse. And virtue is important to young girls, but some of us are no longer virtuous necessarily as young girls.
It happens.
But what happened to me, I realized that so many of us grown-up girls who love samplers need to be strong and courageous. The verse is from Joshua 1:9,
Okay.
and it says, "Be not afraid." And with so many things going on in our lives, friends suffering with cancer and facing various struggles, I chose this one.
Yep.
So we have an alphabet, and
And
then
this is just an excellent example, again, of pulling little things out of big samplers and what you can do with them.
Well, and this one will be available soon. I'm taking pre-orders, and it will be up on my website, Gentle Pursuit Design. And I also have made a Hidden Queen needle book to go with this. I've lifted 2 huge crowns from one of my Scottish samplers, and I have a portrait of Mary, Queen of Scots. And when you pull the ribbon down, Mary will appear and will have a needle book around her.
Oh,
So
okay.
that will be
Creative.
up soon.
Creative.
This little needle book, I lifted motifs from Mary Drake, and you open it, and then you have a little pocket with a nun stitch edged inside. So that's a fun stitch if you are having a group like your Embroiderers Guild or Sampler Guild,
Right.
or a class in a shop. You can buy the patterns and make a model. It's very quickly stitched up, and then you can teach it yourself in your own class.
Yep, very nice.
Okay, and I have one more sampler. I did not bring the model,
right.
but this is Janet Stevenson, and this is a wonderful sampler. Again, these big pyramids, they're made of queen stitch strawberries
Oh, boy.
and have a lot of the usual antique motifs in them for Scottish samplers. Scottish samplers are my favorite. I'll be teaching one in Williamsburg.
Okay.
I'll be doing a Scottish sampler antique show for that seminar, and also teaching a Scottish mini sampler. It's a 10 Commandment sampler, but they only got to 4.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's a quick stitch.
Then the rules just got to be too much.
That's right. They decided, this is enough. If we keep these, we're good.
We're good.
All right.
All right, Cissy Bailey Smith, Gentle Pursuits, thank you.
Thank you, Gary.